What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, The Education 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. Would like to ask you guys to please continue and check my channel and subscribe for more YouTube videos. So, the Jets have made their hire for head coach. Late yesterday, Jets announced that Adam Gase will become the Jets' newest coach and will be the one to further develop quarterback Sam Darnold. Now, everyone's been saying this left and right. Every Jet fan has said their piece about it. Adam Gase was a terrible hire. This guy is going to fail. The Jets are going to be set back 10 more years. The Jets flub it like they always do. Okay, guys. Let me make this point very, very clear for each and every one of you Jet fans out there. Adam Gase, I love this hire, if you're a Jets fan. Everybody will call me a little crazy, and that's fair. Fine. But to be honest with everybody, I know Gase's offense was not ranked great when he played for Miami. He was ranked 26th to dead last in the league. His record was 23-25. Okay, I get it. He didn't have a good first 3 seasons when he coached. But in Miami, what did he exactly have? He had Ryan Tannehill, stunk. He had Brock Osweiler, stunk. He had Jay Cutler, stunk. And what talent did he really have? What kind of management did he have to deal with in Miami? Inept management. That's exactly my point. And you're going to blame Adam Gase, and you're going to say Adam Gase was a terrible hire based on what? That he had nothing to work with in Miami? That's what he had. He had nothing to work with in Miami. He had nothing to work with at quarterback. He had nothing to work with at wide receiver. He went on to coach with Denver. He went on to be an offensive coordinator with them. He was with Chicago. And he produced some good teams out of there. Won a Super Bowl. Coached Peyton Manning, for God's sakes. And already Jet fans are quick to jump on that trigger before the season's even begun for the Jets for 2019. It's really incredible. The next little piece of business I always end up hearing is, why would the Jets hire Gase? You know, Mike McCarthy was out there. You had Eric Bieniemy out there. You had Todd Monken. Okay. Mike McCarthy, every Jet fan was saying, oh, they should have hired a guy with experience. Mike McCarthy would have been perfect. I don't think Mike McCarthy was going to be a good fit with the Jets. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you slice it. Mike McCarthy was not going to work. First, what's the problem with Mike McCarthy, number one? He gets too conservative with his play calling. When were his offenses ever great? When he was an offensive coordinator, his numbers were terrible. And he did that way much longer than before he coached. And number two, he just got fired and he was coaching Aaron Rodgers. How do you get fired coaching Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. Enough said with that. Okay, there was also Cliff Kingsbury, but you know what? Cliff Kingsbury would have been an even worse hire than Gase. Kingsbury was only the benefactor of Patrick Mahomes. That was the only reason his name is even being thrown out there, and he's going to join a real dumpster fire in Arizona with a quarterback that I quite frankly is not going to have a great NFL career in Josh Rosen. You have Larry Fitzgerald and you have David Johnson, and who else have you got in Arizona? You got nothing in Arizona down there right now. Zilch. The Jets wanted to get a young coach. They wanted to get a coach that knows where the NFL is heading. They needed a coach that was good with quarterbacks. And I'm talking about with good quarterbacks, I mean develop a good quarterback, quarterbacks that have a feel for the game, that love the game, that want to get better at the game. Something Jay Cutler, Ryan Tannehill, and Brock Osweiler clearly did not. Jay Cutler was nothing more than a prima donna and guy who's basically thought he was good in his own mind. Brock Osweiler, who was supposed to be an heir apparent to Peyton, he never panned out. Brock Osweiler was never accurate. Brock Osweiler turns over the football. And finally, Ryan Tannehill, well, he always gets hurt. And when he was healthy, even then, Tannehill was no good. Tannehill was only healthy for 24 or 48 games under Gase. That should tell you something. So before all the Jet fans start going crazy with why would the Jets hire one of the worst hires out of the coaching candidates available, there were many other good ones. There were some good ones, I will not lie. But the Jets wanted to make a move when the time was, they had to make a move now because you couldn't wait. Bieniemy and his Kansas City Chiefs are still in the playoffs. So by the time, who knows when Bieniemy will ever be able to interview by then. You can't wait for that. Okay. McDaniels decided to stay with New England. Well, that's no surprise. Freddie Kitchens is named the head coach for Cleveland, which was very interesting. And then finally, you did have Jim Caldwell. I'm not sure Jim Caldwell would have been a good fit. I just feel like, and you look at it just like you do with baseball, we're going in a new direction now with coaches in this game. And I feel now younger coaches will have a better influence with the younger players than hiring a veteran coach with younger players who, listen, I love the veteran coaches. I think they do a great job. But, again, the younger coaches seem to relate better with younger players. And they can get a message across better with younger players. That being said, I would have been okay if the Jets had hired Bruce Arians, but he joined the Buccaneers along with Todd Bowles, so Bowles will join Arians. Fine. Jim Caldwell could have been out there, but I just didn't think Jim Caldwell was going to fit. Mike McCarthy, I certainly don't think was going to fit. And right now, McCarthy's not even going to pursue a job this year. He plans to coach next year. Now, if you look at the hire of Gase, he is the first he's the first coach the Jets have had with NFL coaching experience since 1997. Bill Parcells. He is the first offensive-minded coach the Jets have had, and I couldn't even believe when I was reading this, since the 90s as well, since Rich Kotite. Okay. Let's give Gase a chance. Let's see what he can do. At least, unlike what he's had the previous 3 seasons when he coached, and unlike what he had with Chicago, by the way, Jay Cutler was in Chicago too, I might add. Who did he have to quarterback with? Who did he have as far as a team to work with? With Miami, he virtually had nothing. Jarvis Landry was always a head case. Jay Ajayi didn't pan out. Jay Ajayi was actually traded, forget that. He got traded to Philly. Won a Super Bowl with him. So what did Gase have? He had a decent defense. He had a good special teams, okay. But running back, you had a veteran in Frank Gore, an aging veteran. Quarterback situation, it was a mess. What talent did he have around him if you're Adam Gase, Jet fans? What did he have with Miami for 3 years? There's your answer. And he had inept management that didn't care. And yeah, even several experts, even writers around New York, even are saying this. Why would the Dolphins fire Gase? This guy was a Sean McVay guy, so he definitely isn't stupid. Or he wouldn't be coaching right now. He wouldn't have been a hot commodity back in 2016. He wouldn't have been... If he was really that bad, why were teams looking for him? I'm curious to see what Gase will bring to the Jets. I'm curious to see what he works with. What I do know about him to an extent, he's a no BS guy. I like coaches that are no BS guys, particularly young coaches. He wants the players, whoever he coaches, to love the game of football, to live it and to breathe it. How many coaches tell you that? How many coaches out there want you to live and breathe football? Every coach has a different approach. I agree with that. Every coach has a different mindset to the game. Every coach has a certain standard. I get that. But the Jets needed someone that understood the way the game was heading, that's young, somebody that can just at least give the Jets some kind of direction. And one of the things Gase will do with that is he will handle play calling. He's going to handle all the Jet play calling on the offensive side of the football. Something the Jets have never had in years. Shall I go back to some of the offensive coordinators the Jets had with the different quarterbacks they had and how much of a mess that was? The late Tony Sparano, Marty Mornhinweg, Brian Schottenheimer, Jeremy Bates. See the problem right there? I'm already counting 4 offensive coordinators the Jets had in over a span of like 10 years. No wonder this team struggled. No wonder this team had been a mess. You bring in OC after OC after OC after OC after OC after OC. And you're going to get different results with each of them. Because how can a quarterback develop any rhythm and have any trust in an OC if you keep changing them up every year? With Adam Gase, that all comes to an end. He handles the play calling. So I am curious to see what Gase will bring. I am curious what Mike Maccagnan is going to be doing. Because quite frankly, right now, and I know, Jets fans, you all should know this. Mike Maccagnan certainly knows this. 2019 is a big season for the Jets right now. This is a make or break for them. Did they take a gamble on Gase? Yes. Does Gase have head coaching experience? Yes. Is he familiar with the AFC East? Yes. He's coached in it for 3 years. Are the Jets taking a chance? They are taking a chance. But let me tell you something. There was another team that took a chance on a coach not too long ago. And look where that got them. Yeah, you might know his name. His name is Doug Peterson. Everybody from Philadelphia was bashing the hire of Peterson. Look what happened now. Eagles won a Super Bowl in his first year. Already are in the divisional playoff game in the second year with him. And doing this with a backup quarterback. They're not even doing it with Carson Wentz. I know Jet fans are bashing the hiring right now. Yeah. I can understand the majority of it is from longtime Jet fans. I mean, you've watched this team struggle for years. I can't change how the longtime Jet fans are when they hire a million different coaches. But the game of football is heading in an offensive direction now. Defense now can't always win championships anymore. You need an offense. Adam Gase, I feel, can provide that. Now the key is, what talent is he going to have to work with that he didn't have with Miami, that he didn't have with Chicago, that he didn't have with Denver? Under Gase, Peyton Manning had one of the best seasons of his career, 55 touchdowns in one season. And that was in 2013. If you have talent for Adam Gase to work with, he can work his magic. When you surround him with garbage, do you think the product's going to perform good on the field? You need talent to win in this league. But you also can't win on just talent alone. The good here is Gase is not going to be getting some quarterback that's past his prime to work with. He's not getting some quarterback that doesn't care about the game. He has a quarterback that wants to get better. How many quarterbacks, if you're a coach, do you get to work with that want to get better, not just say I want to get better and lollygag and think they're good in their own mind? Let's see what Gase does with Darnold. Let's see. I would have been okay with a few other candidates. I'm not going to lie. Was the Gase an interesting hire? Yes. I would have been okay for one with Todd Monken if I had the choice. Todd Monken kind of strikes me as a guy that isn't afraid, that can, he's going to be brutally honest. I know Gase will be too. Gase, I said, is a no BS guy. So he will get rid of players he will cut loose ends on a team if they're not going to work. That's what he did to Jarvis Landry. That's what he did to several other Dolphins that didn't want to play, that didn't want to confine to his system. Give Gase a year or two. Let's see what he does. But right now, let's see what the Jets do this offseason. Let's see who they end up drafting. Let's see what money Mike Maccagnan is actually going to spend. Only then can we draw up a conclusion, and we'll see for ourselves how much better or how much worse the Jets' offense is going to be with a new direction, with a new face running it. Let's see. 2019 is coming soon, Jet fans. Jonathan Perriente, The Execution 10, saying bye for now.